So most people's thoughts all day are negative. Negative. I don't mean negative like morally wrong. I just mean they're judging their situation. They're judging themselves. They're judging what's going on as it's not supposed to be happening, or this isn't good. It's not perfect. Most people are living it with brains that are constantly telling them they're not good enough. They made a mistake. This thing that's happening to them is not good enough. Oh, that thing that they thought was going to happen, it didn't happen. So it's bad. They're going to get disappointed. They have expectations that aren't met for some reason, then that's bad. You know what I mean? So we have all these thoughts in our mind about that are like basically trying to control, because it's a survival mechanism, trying to control the world around us and ourselves. And if something falls outside of those boundaries we think is suitable or okay based on all these programs we have, then we get upset, and the mind is thinking of all these thoughts of how to control the situation. Kind of like when we did that episode on vulnerability and money, when you had that experience where all of a sudden people that were paying you some stuff monthly, it was going to disappear, and your mind went into oh my God, I got to write this, people, I got to solve this, I got to do this. Your mind went into like a crazy, I have to fix this mode, and that's the survival reflex. These are our reflexive thoughts. So most of our thoughts they're a reflex to stimuli, but what determines what that reflex is? Well, all that negative stuff is coming from your nervous system's learned trauma, your nervous system's learned ways of how the world is dangerous, how it's not safe to be you, it's not safe to be self-expressed, all the ways that your nervous system has learned you'll be rejected, all the ways your nervous system has learned the world, other people are going to take things from you. Basically, everything you're trying to avoid and control against, that's the main source. That's your trauma, and that's the main source of the reflexive action of the mind. Now, of course, you also get some amazing thoughts. Sometimes you'll look at something, you'll just be looking you'll be on the top of a mountain, and you'll look and you'll say, oh my God, this is so beautiful. Where does that is also a reflex. That's also your mind. Your mind is taking a stimulus and it's performing a reflex. But what is the source of that reflex? That one is not your traumas. The source of that reflex is coming from your wonder. It's coming from the innate curiosity you have as being a human being. It's coming from your, you might call your deeper self. So what I'm getting at here is your mind is like a translator. Your biological mind is there's trauma energy locked in your nervous system. There's trauma information locked in your nervous system. Your mind translates that into things we call thoughts that are like, in language, it translates that into these thoughts. And those thoughts are often interpreting the world in a very negative way. But then your mind also can translate the energy of maybe, your deeper self, your unconditioned self, the self you were when you were this pure, innocent, beautiful, curious, wondrous, joyous child. Your mind can also translate that energy. And that's where these amazing thoughts come from. So none of those thoughts are you. None of those thoughts are who you are. Your mind is translating energy.